this whole area covered with tents. And
Right outside of President Stump's office is the quad, where students crisscross on their way to classes.
I argue that I have the most beautiful office in all of Middle Tennessee. It's these old brick walls. This building was built 125 years ago, 128 years ago, actually.
But in 1942, it was a very different picture.
We have pictures in our archives in the library, which is right next door now to the north of us, of the tents that were at that time set up all over our campus. And it's amazing to see this big iconic building with tents all around it, where the soldiers were camped out and living while they were doing their maneuvers training.
Cumberland University was chosen to be the site for the maneuvers from 1942 to 1944.
This area was deemed appropriate for the maneuvers training because they felt like the geographic topography and also the climate was very similar to what the troops would experience in the European theater.
It was centrally located and easy to get supplies in and out of the area. Kelly McGill is working on a documentary about the maneuvers.
Cumberland, very generously gave the military use of its facilities. Most of the students had been drafted, so, it was fairly empty. And it turned out to be an extraordinarily good partner for the military in terms of hosting the officers and the headquarters for these maneuvers.
Nearly every part of the campus was utilized. Memorial Hall and dorms provided housing for soldiers. The gym and dining hall was also used. Bone Hall was once the site of the infirmary. Tents were set up right outside for soldiers to sleep in throughout the 50 acres on campus.
Everybody was doing their part in World War II. Our part was to donate some space and make some space available for the troops to be housed.
It's a special part of Cumberland University's history, one that many students might not even know about. But there is one call to the past in the quad, a monument dedicated to the 21 soldiers who died during training as they were trying to cross the Cumberland River.
It was at night and it was storming and their boat sank, and all of those men perished in an accident on the very last night of maneuvers training.
Today, there are more than 3,000 students who attend this school, walking in the very same steps as soldiers who were once preparing for war. Nikki Burdine, News 2.